Hi everyone, welcome back to TVI podcast. Carl Donnelly here.
Julian Deane.
Episode 143 with returning guest Esther Manito.
Easy.
Last time we did an episode with you, we were sitting on a bed.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Good times.
It was
After
terrifying.
a three-way. And it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't. It was just we were doing a gig together in Margate. Ended up being a lovely gig. You guys were both convinced it was going to be shit, and I was like, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you were annoyingly positive. This is when me and Julian actually realised that we're both incredibly negative people.
Yeah.
That's when you realise. I've met you both
No,
enough times to know I've worked it out on day one.
I haven't yet got to the stage where I can go, oh, that's going to be a great night. No,
Yeah,
I can't do it.
In anything or just comedy?
Comedy mainly, yeah.
That's your job.
I really struggle with just saying that was good or I was good or that anything good happened.
I can I'll always find fault in what I've done on stage, but I'm always optimistic beforehand. So it's almost, if anything, I do it sort of a worse way, and it's always a letdown. My life is always a letdown, everyone.
Well, if you have a great gig.
No, I know. I'm not. I used to be super critical, and as I've aged, I now have
just given up.
Yeah. No, but now I will just walk away. If I have a really good gig, I'll walk away and go, that was
nice.
Really good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick it apart. I'm not going to think I did anything wrong.
I'm just going to go and get some girls in the audience.
I'm going to get a nosh job in the disableds. But sorry.
Straight to the disableds with a serious face.
Stand outside, vicaring outside the bogs.
Taking a wedding ring off.
Have you ever heard the phrase vicaring?
No.
That's a phrase. I think it was Marcus Birdman was the first one to say it to me. But it's about when you see a comic have a good gig who's single or sometimes not single, and they just float around the sort of door so that the audience have to go past them at the end, and they're like, "Oh, you were great!" And it's like they sort of it's called vicaring. So it's like you're standing as a vicar, shaking everyone's hands.
Oh no, I never do that.
Do you know?
I never do that.
I don't either.
But I have done the thing where someone's come up.
You just actually go around table to table.
In a vicar suit. The dog collar on.
You're just handing out a clipboard with a survey.
Sign up to my mailing list. It's just my email.
People still have mailing lists.
Yeah, I got a message. We got a message through Patreon from somebody saying my mailing list isn't working. Yeah. I was like, "Fuck, not working. I've not logged into it for 2 years, mate.
I can't log in myself.
I can't. I went to log in. It's locked me out because I've not been on for so long.
What is a mailing list? Just where you send out emails en masse, really?
Yeah. I hate every mailing list I'm on, but I'm also too lazy to just go and unsubscribe.
What mailing lists are you on?
Mainly like kids' toy websites and stuff. You know, when you order anything from a website, you accidentally sign up. Okay. So I'm on hundreds by accident.
I'm on Boohoo one.
Yeah, Boohoo. I think I'm still part of.
I bought a T-shirt off there and sent it back.
It's the shittest quality. It's made in a sweatshop in Leicester.
I mean, that's good.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah, like if you're going to
need to work
have
harder,
a sweatshop,
mate.
at least have it somewhere sweaty.
They need to lower the wage.
It's not. Yeah, it's true. It's not very sweaty in Leicester. But what were you saying? You don't chat to anyone after a gig. You hide.
No, someone comes up to me after a gig, and I just went into autopilot. I assumed they were going to go, "Oh, well done, really enjoyed that." So I just turned around, looked straight at him, and went, "You're welcome," or something like that, or like, "Thanks." And he was like, "What?" No. And it was just that awkward thing. Oh, sorry, you just needed to get past me. No, that's fine.
Oh, that is it's so awkward. I don't understand this. I know so many comics that can just float around, and even people that stand there and give out like their details. Like,
I know.
I've seen
their
it.
details.
Well, I've seen it at Top Secret where people. A couple of people have got there's these cards now where people can swipe and it takes them to your website and your social medias and stuff. So it's almost like flyering yourself.
I don't want to do that after a gig.
I can't think of anything worse.
I've seen Julian just hand out cards to all the women.
Yeah,
birthday cards, but
hotel cards.
Valentine's cards.
Condoms, bring that with you, love. You're going to need that.
Imagine just
my credit card.
Giving out condoms to every single woman.
Lou Sanders had that was one of her funny merch. She had branded condoms that she did on one of her tours.
Oh,
very funny. It's a funny bit of merch, isn't it?
Wouldn't really work, I don't think, for my kind of.
No.
It would be kind of a bit left field.
It would, out of the blue.
Talked about a family, her kids, and just give me a condom. With a name on it.
Just walk up to people afterwards and just go, "Do you want that?"
Yeah, there you go. Just have that.
It's just a picture of my face.
Thanks for coming.
Literally.
Yeah, I've never had that.
What, condoms?
I've never used a condom.
Have you used condoms?
Of course I have used condoms.
Yeah.
I've got one child.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
What did you use condoms to not have babies? Yeah.
What do you think they're used for? I used to put them on my head and blow it up.
There's other ways you can do.
Oh, there are. Yeah. I think I was always.
God, sorry.
I always thought it was the safest option. It was, and obviously.
Did it take the enjoyment out a little bit?
It's not. I mean, a bit, but I'm not sort of. I could suck that up really.
You're supposed to.
I didn't mean to use that phrase.
Oh, that little bit left over, I'll just suck that up.
No, yeah. I mean, they were a regular thing in my life up until recent times. What are we talking about?
Carl Donnelly and the history of condoms.
I know, God. What other ones?
They used to have condoms where you reuse them, didn't they? That you wash them back in the day.
No, that was never.
It must have been in the olden days.
No.
Yeah.
No way. You can't have washable
They were made
condoms.
of like animals.
How old are you, Julian? They were made of animals.
21. They used to be made of like animals' blood. Or was
No
that
wonder-
footballs?
You're
No wonder
thinking
you've
of
got 5
haggis.
kids. If you're washing your condoms.
I'm thinking of rugby balls, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it is that weird thing where that is sort of the only one for guys. Women obviously have a lot more options.
A lot more options.
But not in a nice way, but in a sort of thrust upon you.
You can have the implant in your arm, can't you?
I'm not
and
having
stuff?
that.
No.
The coil. I once was seeing a lady who had a coil, which I was sort of unnerved by the fact that it was in there.
I once had a coil put in and woke up that same night with the most agonising pain in my chest and was rushed into A&E.
Who put it in
and
you?
they thought...
They put it in the wrong place then, hadn't they?
Just some geezer.
Yeah, I
He
just
carries
got
it around in his wallet.
and I had to have it removed, and that was the first and last
I
time.
think there's got to be problems with putting stuff into you.
Yeah, exactly.
And
all
also,
the time.
they really underplay it. They're like, it's absolutely fine. It hurts a little bit, but it's absolutely fine. And they kept just
Hurts
going
a
to
little bit. It's like
even
quite
that is
a
bad.
big problem.
That's still bad.
And then when I went back the next day, they go, well, we've scanned you and it hasn't pierced anything, so we don't see why it should hurt. I was like, I don't care. I can't breathe.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's
I'm in
my
pain.
fault,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So I was like, I'm not just going to keep this in. Oh, it's all right. It's okay. I don't need to breathe. It's fine. So
Because what's the latest on the male contraceptive pill? That's because
It's not around, is it?
Well, yeah, they've been talking about rolling it out for years, and obviously they.
mental that
Viagra.
they can create a vaccine in a year, but the male contraceptive pill has taken.
Yeah, the guys are really dragging their feet on that.
Well, there's a lot of red tape. There's sort of bureaucracy with
Let's
it.
not rush it, guys.
You know what I mean? We need to get it approved sometime. It's got to go through a lot of hurdles.
Vasectomies?
A friend of mine had a vasectomy a couple of months ago.
Oh,
I
nice.
saw him 2 weeks
How's he
ago.
doing?
Why would you want that though?
He's got 5 kids.
Snap.
Yeah, but in like quicker succession than yours. You've spread them out over about 4 generations.
True.
I know.
Some are older than me now. What?
Julian's family photos.
But
Just
why
looks like
would you go to the doctor?
It's on a stag do.
A fruit.
It's like the older ones are wearing like 17th century garb.
I'm sitting there dressed as a teenager with the old face.
But no, he had five children, and then
But
4.
why
Actually,
would
no,
you-
sorry, he's
why
got
would you-
4 in quite quick
But there's
succession.
other ways than having surely having your balls cut open would be the last resort.
But
why
I think
why would that be a go-to?
because what's the like he wouldn't want to force his wife to go on the pill because that's quite a big hormonal
it's a
change.
man up, soldier.
And he just like he didn't want to use condoms, so it was like the easiest
the
option is the vasectomy.
yeah.
He said it was fine. It like took 5 minutes.
But you can pull it out, can't you?
Yeah, but it's not.
Come.
That's still very risky. That's why you got 5 kids.
Life's
You think that's
risky.
a successful contraceptive
He's
technique?
washing his condom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
After sex,
that's
he's
the old
just, like,
Catholic thing. Of
rinsing
like,
them out in the sink. Then. Don't throw that, love. We can get plenty of use out of that.
fucking hell,
Like
come on.
tea bags.
I'm trying to get this one into double figures. But no, that's why it was the Catholic Church would always say the withdrawal method because they knew that actually
You get
often.
more kids.
Yeah. Because it's not. I mean, I wouldn't even know what the stat is, but it's very much not 100% successful.
Because
Bits come out.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome to Science Talk.
Got to say, thank you for having me.
Sorry, we were talking just before we hit record. I asked you were going to tell me us a story about. You said something about when you did Live at the Apollo. What happened?
So it's
the
weird
art.
because you always try and kind of preempt what people are going to be cross
Yes.
about.
Somebody sent you an essay.
And then
this is what
somebody
you
sent me
said.
an essay, and the end of the essay was about how I've got really bad posture, and I was like, God, of all the things,
All the critiques.
of all the things, but the thing is, you worry about so many things to do with yourself, and then now he's just added to the list because I'm like,
Yeah. It's rude.
I know I am a round-shouldered woman.
It's a good name for a show, actually.
And I do have very long arms, which doesn't help with the whole kind of orangutan.
Really? Most
In what? Sorry, that's a weird thing. I mean, that's something we need to quantify. Like, how long? Where do they come down to if you stand with them by your side?
Feet. Your knuckles, you've been a bit bruised.
I do have really long arms. But I'm just long-limbed.
Right,
But also
okay.
quite orangutan-y.
Right.
His jumper doesn't help, I admit it.
That's true.
But that's nothing to do with your shoulders.
No, I do have bad posture.
Most people like do hunch like that. You have to be conscious and pull your shoulders back.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I've started doing ballet. Not because of the
Really?
posture comment,
That's
but
cool.
yeah, I just wanted to do it.
I might be going to ballet as well.
I'm trying to convince Julian to come with me to ballet.
Why?
Because I want to be a dancer, man. What?
I said to Julian, do you want to come to ballet? He's like, what
You haven't become a lawyer yet, mate. Stop putting new jobs in the way.
I want to become the new Billy Elliot. It's probably good for you.
It is one of them, like, that is such a weird, all the things you think about, especially if you're doing something like Live at the Apollo, where you're like, right, I need my set as tight as it can be. Then you think, I need to look.
A big long list
It
at the
says-
end. Oh, my shoulders are rounded.
Yeah. It's one of them things, but it's such a weird little dig to make you just go, oh, fuck. Yeah, it just gives you something to think about. It's a bit rude.
People are nuts, though.
People are nuts. And what was there? Were they a chiropractor or some weird shit
I
like
don't
that?
know.
Are they trying to be helpful? Did you read what they said?
No, I just,
Time to go fuck themselves.
I didn't say
Block.
anything.
I haven't noticed your posture like bad.
Thanks.
I haven't. I do.
Oh, no, it's
You are quite a leaner sometimes in a bit. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, I really
Yeah,
lean.
but that's not. I've never associated
And
that
I
with
can be
posture. I
quite
never thought that was because you
crusty.
physically couldn't stand up straight. I thought you were just sort of there are different styles of like
thought
he's
something was
Julian's
wrong with
very.
you.
You're very straight up static.
Only 'cause I-
You do your jokes like
never
that.
thought
it
You're a
was like-
leaner.
Tried to-
Some people are crouchers. John Hastings is a croucher.
That's
I
because
never
it's so
thought it's because you
tall.
couldn't physically stand.
Yeah. I never thought it was because of your childhood rickets. that
You're
you
like
had.
No, I do. I
Michael
do a lot of
Jackson
that.
when he
Yeah,
did-
you like a
I do
a lean.
lot of hunchy.
I
Whenever
used to
do
be a
like
leaner.
type
I used to be a leaner, and
Yeah,
then I
you do bend your legs and
straightened up.
like
Yeah.
lean like a
Yeah.
goblin.
Yeah.
like the Babadook. Have you seen that film? It's
No.
fucking wicked.
I like that word.
It's a very good. It's a very good modern horror film. Check it out, everyone. But
Posture's good though, like to work on your posture.
yeah, it's good.
I think that I wouldn't mind that email. I mean, I'd have liked it before I did the Apollo, not afterwards though.
Yeah. I yoga's always. Whenever I do go through a
Yoga's good.
period of doing yoga, my posture just sorts
Yeah, that's
itself
why I
out.
started doing ballet because I don't like doing yoga.
Right.
And I thought, so I was talking to a lady who does my sports massage because I run and I try and run every day. And then she was like, maybe something else that just strengthens your core. So then she was like, what about ballet? And I was like, I genuinely was like, I'd feel such a dickhead. And that's really embarrassing. And I thought, no, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to bite the bullet and just do it.
So is it like a special adult ballet class? Well, how does it work? Go into
No,
like
it's
Royal
me
ballet.
and loads of toddlers.
like the Russian ballet
At the
school?
Palladium.
No, but I mean, what I
Saturday
mean
night.
is like, is it just a free for all and anyone can go, or is
Yes.
it a special your age group type thing? I don't know how it works.
It's not over 50.
You know what
I
I mean?
No, it's just beginners ballet. So
Right.
it's all adults.
Is there a lot of pros there?
There does seem to be quite a few women who look like they have returned after
Right.
being quite proficient in ballet.
Yeah.
Whereas then I'm very much like just clumping about at the back.
How many times have you done it?
It's a 9-week course. I'm 3 sessions in.
Okay.
That's good.
Have you tried getting up on your toes yet?
No,
Have
Okay.
you bought ballet pumps?
I do have ballet shoes.
Really?
What, with the blocks in the end?
No,
Oh.
no.
I've got a pair of long johns that I wore recently to football. That sorry, there is a point to this.
Do you have ballet pumps? I've got.
But I
long
had a
johns.
black T-shirt on, and they're black long johns, and they're super tight, like
Like a
leggings.
mime.
And well, I looked like a ballet dancer. I was getting
so
ready
you
to go
could
to a
come-
football match, So I wanted to put them as an underlay because it was super cold. And I put them on. I went out to Hannah and I was like, I look like a ballet dancer. And she was like, I want a divorce.
Fucking telly. I'm on the phone to the lawyer.
Do you want to come to ballet?
I mean, I wouldn't be against it.
I definitely want to go.
Yeah.
Get my core tight.
Let's do it.
I don't want to go with Julian because I've got a feeling
I think he's there for the wrong reasons.
he'll be there just going up behind women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you just straighten that out.
Dressed as a ballet instructor.
Have you ever been to the ballet?
I have, yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like, yeah, it's very good. I went. I've only been once, but I loved it.
It's a bit
I love
long,
the
is
ballet.
it?
Better than the opera. I went to the opera.
I love the opera.
See, I found the opera dragged for me.
Oh no, I love the opera.
Right.
Really? What,
Yeah, I've gone to the
4-hour
opera
one?
loads.
It's
I absolutely love it. That's my favourite thing
And
to
how
do.
long is the show?
Well, it can range.
too long for you.
Because I went
Quite
to one
miles.
for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I was there an hour and I went to the cinema. I bailed out.
Watch RoboCop.
Yeah, it's I found I've got good patience and I can focus and watch them. I love a long film. You know when people moan about it's 3 hours long. I'm like, that's fucking good. That's 3 hours that everything stops.
But
and you
our
just watch a bit.
concentration is
TikTok.
fucked. Our concentration
I've
is
got quite good
Yeah,
concentration.
but the next generation or the generation that are on social media, it's absolutely fucked.
Yeah, of course. But then that's surely it's our responsibility to teach them to. Nah. What I mean is, surely we've got to try and help them to not be fucked.
Well, that's Goldie Hawn runs that charity, doesn't she, of trying to get kids off technology to try and help their because I noticed.
I wouldn't go that
Oh, it's
far.
on Facebook, isn't it? Yeah. No.
But like, I don't think. I think we got to accept that is the world. But
It
I do
is,
think
but
it's
it
about
does-
trying to.
But it does fuck them up a bit mentally.
Yeah.
Like when my
Also gives them skills that we didn't have, I bet. Like eye-to-hand coordination and
Very. I mean,
but
apparently
you want
early
everything
doors.
video
Very-
editing. They can all video edit
But
at
the
like 6 years
constant-
Yeah,
old.
but
like
they also
instant-
have chronic mental health problems.
Yeah.
Way more than we did.
and
True.
bad eyesight,
Yeah.
Or
bad
autism.
necks.
ADHD's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So like, there's got to be, and that's not proved that that's the reason. They reckon it could be other things like lifestyle and all sorts, but it is like it's obviously not good.
They're
for
probably
people.
diagnosing more nowadays than they were
They
as
are,
well.
but it's definitely it's obvious. Anyone, it doesn't take a doctor to say if you sit and look at your phone for 6 hours a day or more, then it's going to
you can
fuck your head
feel it,
up.
can't you? Yeah, you can feel like you just feel it. Your mood.
Yeah, you go a bit mental.
Yeah.
I had a really bad night's sleep last night. Weirdly, went to sleep. I was asleep by about 12. Woke up at 2:45 because Twyla woke up and was just a bit unnerved for some reason. She took about 15 minutes to get back to sleep, and then I just couldn't sleep.
You don't get back to sleep sometimes.
No, I was up for just that bit too long, and I was awake till 6:45.
Oh no.
3 hours. No,
Oh.
4 hours awake,
Oh, no.
and then fell asleep for another 2 hours.
Oh god.
But in that 4 hours of wake, I tried to not look at my phone, but I was like, it's 4 hours. I'm lying in bed. I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to disturb her or anything.
Yeah.
So, and for a period, I started looking at my phone, and just looking at my phone in the dark in bed, I just felt gross. I felt like
Yeah.
I was doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking
Were
at
you?
anything. Yeah. I was watching snuff
Kiddie porn
movies.
is always wrong.
No, but I just felt it does feel gross. I've got my Kindle next to the bed. I don't sit on my phone before
The
bed.
Kindle's a better screen, is it? It's kind
It's
of
made to
matte.
sort of it's made to be like reading a book. It's very soft
I
focused.
need to get
and all
one,
that.
man.
I dreamt last night that I stabbed a friend's boyfriend.
Okay.
Let's unpack this.
And how did that make you feel?
First
I
off,
dreamt.
was it a close
no, it
friend?
wasn't a friend that I know, and it wasn't a
How
boyfriend.
can you
Oh.
not know a
So
friend?
you know, like in your dreams, it's just like you set up. There's a scenario where you're like, oh, this is my relationship with.
And
this.
who's that? Who
Yeah.
is that person in your dream closest to in your life? Who does it kind of resemble a little bit?
Genuinely don't know, but I knew that she was with a
Was
guy.
it an amalgamation of different friends into one person?
Genuinely, I don't know, but she was with a guy. They were in a flat, and the flat had a view of the sea, and
You wanted him dead.
she was unhappy with him
Right.
and scared of him, so she wanted him gone. And then he got me and her and pushed our heads together and wrapped it in cling film so we couldn't breathe.
You're trying to kill a part of your own self
So,
that you don't like.
I stabbed the cling film so we could breathe, and then I stabbed him. But you know, when you're like, I really felt it like, go in.
It's very healing. You're letting go.
Just
You're,
stabbed.
you're shedding layers of the onion.
I dreamt 3 nights
Growing.
ago that I had sex with a packet of coffee. True story. And like to the point where I won't like. Do you know like the the real compact packs of coffee where it's like
the sexy ones.
But no, I mean this dream creeped me out, and that's the only part of the dream I remember. There was loads going on.
Did you come?
So at one point I was in a fishing boat and stuff like this. It was so weird. But the bit I remember, there was a reason to it. I had to do it for a reason. Because it was lovely.
Because it was so sweet.
I love the difference.
But no, it was.
I killed a man. I dreamt I made love to a cup of coffee.
And there was a purpose to it, and I remember feeling like quite grossed out that I had to do it, but it was I had to do it for a reason.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I remember it's gross. I remember having to cut a hole in it, and I woke up the next day like that. What does that mean?
What does that mean? Well. Apparently, it's just whatever you're feeling is what it means. So it's nothing to do with the coffee or anything.
Yeah,
Symbolism.
exactly.
It's
how
just
do you
what you feel.
Yeah, exactly. It's your feelings making images.
Like when I stabbed the boyfriend.
Yeah.
He was then gone, and I remember straight away she was like, "Oh my God, we can just jig the house." And so we were just pushing things out, and she was like, "Oh, you always wanted the table there, but now we can have it over there." And I was like, "Oh God, look how lovely and spacious."
You're changing and growing.
So it was definitely trying to
dying
stab my male trolls.
Right. Okay. I don't know what mine was then. Probably I just wanted to have sex with a coffee, a packet of coffee.
You just wanted to have sex, but also you're very tired.
Also, I love coffee. I'm a big coffee fan.
You're just...
You know what? I just put two of my favourite things together.
And just fucked them.
That's one
I don't really have many sex dreams. I
remember my mum told... Sorry.
No, but you know when you have a sex dream with somebody that you were genuinely not attracted to, and the relief.
Let's not bring
a packet of coffee, mate.
I remember.
I mean, you don't know that.
I remember having a dream that I was in a relationship with Terry Waite, and I just was like really embarrassed. Like he kept turning up at like parties and stuff, and people would be like, "Who's that old man?" I was like, "Oh God, it's my boyfriend."
Yeah.
And then when I woke up, I was so relieved.
That's nice.
That you got to bang him.
Got to bang a legend.
He got kidnapped, didn't he? Years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
There's the connection.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So, okay. Did you kidnap him?
No, I didn't kidnap him.
Oh. So you grew up... No, you didn't grow up in Lebanon, did you?
No.
You were born in England.
All right.
Can I see your papers?
Welcome to GB News, everyone.
So you're born in England, yeah. Okay. So what? Yeah.
Why are you confused by that?
No, I'm just confused. Why you were why Terry Waite then?
I don't know. It's weird how these things just go. Or when you have a dream and you dream about somebody that you went to school with and you haven't thought of them in years.
That's
and
the
like,
weird
one.
one.
Oh my God.
I had
Billy Smith or whatever from infant school. And I'm like, we weren't even friends. We had no connection.
Oh, I went out with him in a dream too.
Oh,
Billy Smith.
I stabbed him.
But it's like, how did he pop up?
Yeah. I like the last sex dream I remember. This is ages ago. I mean, I've probably had some since, but I don't remember.
Have you come in your dreams?
No, not. What do you mean? Like in real life?
Yeah, like so you wake up. And
no,
come all
not
over
12.
Come all over you and your kid.
Oh God! But
Julian,
exactly.
That wasn't that bad. What I said.
Julian,
that could happen.
You need to go to therapy and talk about sex.
Yes, but the last one I remember having was about one of my childhood friend's older sister that I did fancy when I was a kid, but I've not thought about him or her since I was about 13. And
crazy.
Somehow a year ago, me and her absolutely went
at it.
Hell for leather in a dream.
But my mum
boots.
told me that when you go through
the difference between you.
I know. I'm like a man from the 50s. Is
we
very...
knocked boots, and he's like, I come and I'm like, it's very different energy.
Exactly.
Mum, when I was about 11, my mum said when you go through puberty, you have a wet dream as part of it, and you come in your dream. My mum told me that. And
I'm starting to see what the problem lies.
But she was like a nurse. She was just trying to be all
That's
open.
Good, that's good.
She was trying to tell me and my sister
to normalise it.
Yeah.
But instead it rotted your brain.
It went the other
That's
way.
why we find ourselves here today.
But then I was waiting for that dream where I have an orgasm.
Oh, she just got you excited about the prospect.
No, but then even in my dream when I'm having like a wet dream or whatever, I'll be like I'm trying to come, but I'd never wake up, and I'd come.
What now?
not now, like when I was trying to go be a teenager, I thought that was like, what do they call it, like the turning point to become a teenager.
So you would come?
No, I wouldn't, and that would be the problem.
Right.
But then I've learned that ain't necessarily a thing, is it?
What?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't
That
really
you
happen.
when you have a wet dream, you wake up wet.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be
Can
what
we
a wet.
cut all of this? What do you
No,
think?
a wet dream.
Phoebe?
I think a wet dream. There needs to be evidence when you wake up.
Some people wake up.
A sex dream.
So I'm not
it
the
doesn't
only
mean
person
if you
that
had
has ever said that
if
you
had-
have an orgasm and you come in your dream, am I?
Yeah, but if you that's good. Not, I don't know. If you come in your dream, doesn't mean you're definitely going to come in real life.
I think it would.
No, I've definitely jizzed all over my dreams.
Really?
My sheets are
What,
clean
so
as a
you
whistle.
physically felt that orgasm?
I think so.
Ball tingle.
I've not had a wet dream since my teenage years, but I've definitely had sex dreams that have I have reached climax.
So when you say wet dream, you mean that you've not come
I've
in
not had a
real
wet
life?
dream. I've not had a wet dream
Okay.
since I was a teenager.
Okay.
Can we now move on, please?
Sorry. This has been on my mind for fucking years.
It feels like it. Sorry you had to bear witness to this moment of us getting that sorted. But what you can watch, because this is this sounds weird, this what I'm about to ask, but there's a reason. How old are your kids? There's a genuine purpose to this.
Come in my dreams. Sorry.
No, what I'm going to say, because obviously, what's your thoughts on when you're going to have the sex chat?
God, I'm not very good with
Do you
this
want me
kind
to
of
ring
stuff. No,
Absolutely. Just show them this.
not.
Show them this footage.
Just get him on Zoom. Dr. Deane.
We'll get them in the studio.
I don't think I'm going to be very good at it.
No, I won't be able
I
to
won't
do
be
it.
very good at it. And
Hannah will be excellent. Hannah's very open and good at that sort of just being honest and open. I'm just like a fucking coiled spring.
I'm a little bit old fashioned.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm just like, you get married and have children. And that's what you do.
Why don't you just say to them, like, any questions?
And if you think there's any other path, you will burn.
Yeah.
Don't touch yourself.
I'm on your side. I'm going through this.
I try. Like, I was trying to talk about, what is it?
So what age are they? Just
6 and 8.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the 8-year-old is getting to the window of knowledge.
Going out, putting herself about.
Swear to God, I will lamp you, Julian. I am. I was trying to, because she said to me, I want to go to an all-girls school because I don't like
That's
boys.
what I said.
And why?
Yesterday.
Why is he like
Tourette's.
this?
He's got Tourette's.
I've got Tourette's.
But when you're one-on-one with Julian, it's lovely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a good guy.
No, you are. You're really nice. And then the moment there's a bit of an audience,
Moment of camera and the mics go on.
He's just there going, yeah.
It's like Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it?
Jizz, wet dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she said, I want to go to an all-girls school because I don't like, I don't like boys. And she's got like friends that are boys and stuff. But I was trying to have this conversation with her because I was like, I don't massively like it when genders are really divided. I don't think it, like, I used to be a secondary school teacher, and when you got like the boys who were just friends with boys and the girls that were just friends with girls, and then they'd have relationships, it would always be really hyper aggressive.
Yeah.
Whereas when you got those nice little groups that were like mixed boys
Yeah,
and girls,
yeah.
their relationships were just like a lot more relaxed, and when they broke up, the boys could talk to their female
learned to
friends.
be friends with girls.
I went to an all-boys secondary, and
got laid.
which was a lot. Well, I say all. That's a lie. A lot of my mates who I went to school with have gone into very traditional lifestyles. Like they all like got married in their sort of early to mid 20s, got a couple of kids, got like settled. They're all very settled and have very nice normal relationships.
I was just trying to have this, but the reason why I say it is because I was trying to have this conversation with my girl where I was like, but it probably is quite good for you to go to a school where there are boys. And she was like, why? And I was like, because someday you might want to have a boyfriend. I mean, you may not want to have a boyfriend, but you might want to have a boyfriend.
I think mixed school would be better.
And she was just like, that's disgusting.
Maybe
she might
be
a nun.
She might be gay.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, either way, like
she wants to go to a girls' school to hoover up.
But even
easy pickings, mama.
But either way, I was
fish in
like,
a barrel.
But I was just like,
she's doing a school tie up in a mirror. Like fish in a barrel, mama.
Well, I mean, she hasn't shown any kind of inclination either way. But I just thought it would be better to be mixed. But I realised that I was really cracked because I was just trying to
also,
explain.
girls and boys don't like each other until they're about...
No, but when I was trying to explain
10,
like
11.
that they will, when you're at secondary school, you are going to go through changes and you're going to start to think about who you find attractive. And it felt like just headbutting a wall because she was like, what do you mean? And my husband was like, you are so bad at this. I was like,
I mean,
would he be good? Is your
sounds
husband
a little bit clunky, yeah.
Yeah, I was, all right, Julian.
Is your husband good at this sort of stuff? Do you reckon he'll be better than you?
He's very calm.
Yes.
And whereas I'm just like...
I went into my niece and...
just very, I just haggard over my children's
Your
bed
long arms.
with my long arms going, you will burn in hell if you experience
I
any
was trying to
burning of
tell
the
my
loins.
daughter and niece about, like, because they're, dressing up, going out,
Yeah,
like 15 and 14, and getting boys and stuff like that. So I went in the other day and tried giving them a lecture about, like, boys and respecting themselves and stuff like that. They were just looking at me like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know, they kind of listened a little bit. I was just saying, look, from a boy's point of view, like, I can tell you what, you know what I mean? I was saying, if you want some advice, ask me.
From a wronger.
No, but yeah,
From the apex predator.
But I went,
If you want some advice from somebody who is actually a sexual predator, I will tell you the perspective. If you want to know what type of man may attack you,
beware of
come to me
boys in
because I am-
balaclavas. Beware of boys holding knives.
But yeah, that's something I definitely, and I'm not in an old-fashioned way, but saying like, I'll leave it to Hannah. But I just think I would be so rubbish at it. I've got so much sort of like Irish Catholic.
Well, if they ask
Don't
you a
talk
question,
about
just
it.
answer it honestly.
Yes.
I remember the first day I got my period and I walked out and it was only me and my dad in the house and I walked out of my bedroom and went, oh my God, I've got my period. And my dad just went, ugh, and went back into his room and just shut the door. And I was
My
like,
soldier.
and I was just like,
Someone had to fucking say it.
Parenting 101, that
he
is.
literally just went, and walked back into his room and shut the door. And I was just going,
my God.
what do I do?
Called you a
And
witch and ran away.
I did that joke in
So
severity.
I went and did. So I went into the bathroom, found sanitary because I've got older sisters. Found sanitary towels, but I didn't know how to use them, so I put the sticky side on.
Oh, no.
Painful.
Yeah, so that was a lot of scissoring. No,
Yeah.
not scissoring.
Scissoring.
By the way, I didn't know what scissoring meant
Did
until
you have to
very
go to
recently.
the barbers and get it
I had to
taken
get it-
off?
I had to
Until-
scissors to trim it off.
You didn't know. When did you find out what that meant, scissoring? Because I remember.
Oh, literally only a few months ago.
I think I found it
When
out
you
when.
were in a scissor.
This is what this is called.
Oh,
I didn't know
Scissor
what-
Sisters.
Yeah, that's what I learned it from when the band the Scissor Sisters came out.
Oh, that's why the
That's-
band.
Oh.
That's what.
Yeah, I
alerted
didn't know what
me
any of
to
that
the
But gay
phrase.
men don't scissor, do they?
I
Well, they
mean,
don't
if they
need
try hard enough, they can. Anything's possible if you
I suppose.
if
Rubbing
you
ball
commit.
sacks together.
It was quite cosy.
What? Whacking your bums together. We could do that.
Pushing
It's
your
not-
bums.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be gay.
Just
would
banging them against each other. We'll do it on Patreon.
it? Just mush your batty holes together. They just give just a little kiss.
I feel like I've really got the short straw for this.
I
episode.
feel like this is
it has been
I
so
agree.
much.
I agree.
So much.
I've had no sleep at all.
I haven't. Maybe that's
I
it.
haven't-
We're both
I haven't had
deliriously
sleep either,
tired.
so I'm a bit
I had a
manic.
12-hour day yesterday.
Oh yeah, of course you did.
No, we're
of
not.
course you did.
Can't say what it. Can't
Oh,
say
can we
what
not
it is.
say?
Not on here.
Oh.
For legal reasons. Julian was in court. But we'll talk about it on Patreon.
Talk about it on Patreon.
Patrons already sort of know.
Yeah,
What
I wasn't
you
in
were-
court by the way.
No. It was actually something quite fun. But yeah, Patrons.
My mate was working on the thing that Julian did that we cannot speak of.
Well, a friend
What
of
did your
mine
mate say?
also works on it, but
You
she
know-
wasn't there yesterday. So I messaged her to say, "Oh, my mate Julian." Then she went, "Oh,
Your
I'm not
mate,
there."
my mate then.
Maybe.
But my mate, he texted me and said,
Oh, it's a
that-
she. It's a she. But no. And,
Weirdly, I
that
met
doesn't
someone
mean they can't
else's
know each
mate
other.
there.
Oh yeah, well, of course. They
No,
might-
sorry, she's a
Yeah,
woman.
no, yeah, sorry, no.
Men and women don't
She
mix,
doesn't
I don't.
talk to any men. Yeah, no, they probably do know each other.
Yeah. But he texted me and saying that Julian was very good.
Okay.
And then I said, well, then it can't be the same man.
Julian Deane, right?
What, Julian Deane?
No, not that one.
What, the nonce of Vauxhall,
I'm gonna get like so
as he's known.
What are you gonna get?
That's his stage name.
much-
Welcome to the stage, the nonce of Vauxhall.
Like I'm creeping out like the child catcher, like Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka wasn't a nonce.
I mean,
You're
you
thinking-
I
reckon?
mean,
No, you're
you don't
thinking of,
you don't build a chocolate factory and then invite kids.
Oh
in.
no, you're thinking of Fred West. Oh yeah.
You're thinking of the child catcher.
Yeah,
Was he a nonce? Like, I suppose.
Willy Wonka's
The
actually just sort of the
child catcher.
The
opposite.
Pied Piper was a nonce.
Willy Wonka was like
Hansel
the
and
sort of
Gretel.
Michael Jackson style Arrested Development type.
You can't say that.
But he was also allegedly one of those as well.
But you.
I don't know. I went all quiet. It's just Michael Jackson fans are mental. You don't want to say.
I mean, I don't know.
But you can't say that Hansel and Gretel are nonces when they were.
No, they were the kids. No, I mean, children
Don't know what they got up to later
children
in
can't
life.
be nonces.
No.
But
What
they
a
were.
statement.
I know.
Guys,
God.
news fresh in. I don't know if you've heard of this.
Next time we record, can we all agree to get a full night's sleep beforehand, everyone?
But the witch,
Children cannot be nonces.
the witch lured them to the house. It was a story of a.
Yeah, but she
pedo.
wanted to eat them.
I suppose it depends. Also,
I mean,
not
eat
to
them.
get bogged
Oh,
down
don't.
in this, but technically children can't be nonces. But like a 15-year-old boy
Oh, yeah, he can be
who's
a
technically a child, could, if they were wrong, could what you know. So
Yeah.
there is grey area. Let's not just.
What you're saying is where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Where there's a willy, there's a way. Okay.
Okay. Any other business?
Rightio.
Other business. No, I think we've discussed everything. I think this has been a really productive session.
I genuinely had a couple of things I really wanted to talk about.
No,
But no, I
let's
can't
talk.
remember them because my brain's been rotted by all the sex.
My brain's been rotted. That's what I want you to say as you leave this hut.
Yeah.
Oh, we've
Just go,
got
God.
a live show, is it that?
Oh yeah, let's
yeah.
talk about the lives, but we'll talk about some other things.
With some
you
other guests.
talk about
Let's
that
talk
while I
about
try to
your live
remember
show.
the things I wanted to actually
We've got a
bring
live
up.
show on February the 28th.
28th.
With Paul.
21 Soho
Yes.
with our sister podcast, What's Upset You Now?
Yeah.
Sean Walsh, Paul McCaffrey.
It's on sale. Went on sale yesterday.
It's on sale. There
I
is
saw it on sale there. I was there when they were putting
Did you have
But
your
they've
credit
put-
card in your hand?
I've bought all the tickets. I've
Okay.
bought all the
Just
tickets
you
just to
sitting in the
ensure
middle.
that no one else goes.
No one else has to sit through this.
There is a discount code.
You got a government
available
grant to put an end to it.
on our Patreon.
Yeah, a child
discount
line of
code.
all the
Yeah,
tickets
yeah.
just to make sure that.
But
Yeah.
I was there. I was there 2 days ago to do a live podcast with the Rob Beckett and Josh Widdicombe do Parents in Hell, and it was really funny. Like it's a really good venue for live podcasts. But I forget how a live podcast audience is very different to a live stand-up audience. They film because stand-up is you're on stage, you're talking at them, and it's a one-way conversation that's pretending to be a two-way conversation, and at the end they laugh. Live podcast audiences are so much more confident to just pitch in because it's like they've got to know you and
That's
all that.
nice in a way.
It was really fun, but there was times you could see like Rob and Widdicombe were just like, could everyone just shut up for a minute and let us like, sort of get on with that. You know, there was a lot of people wanting to like ask questions and all that.
But also they'll be excited because they're celebrities.
There is that as well. You sort of forget sometimes when you're with comedians you've known for years, since before they were famous.
No,
How famous they are. I forget that they're both really famous guys.
I was telling Julian, I filmed something with Josh Widdicombe and John Richardson and Frank Skinner, and the imposter syndrome was mental.
Right.
And it's mental because they'll just talk to you like you're a human being. Like, oh, hey, and
well,
you
you're
know,
just a comic. They're comics.
Yeah.
You're comics.
I'm just
colleagues, isn't
and
it?
I'm just sat there going, I can't even breathe.
Yeah.
Because I feel this is so surreal.
Like Richardson's an interesting one because I always forget how famous John Richardson is because I've known him since the sort of he was just I think he started a tiny bit before me, and he was just like a really funny other guy who was sort of quite shy and retiring. And I just forgot I forget how famous he got because I remember doing a gig with him in Edinburgh about 3 or 4 years ago. He was just in town for a few days, and we did a late show together. And we were chatting at the back, and I could see people in the room spot that he was in the room. He wasn't listed. And like the word went round. I could see people going, "It's John Richardson," and I was like, "Oh yeah, forget he's fucking famous, isn't he?" You just don't really forget because you just sort of they're just people you just know.
I know I don't
with.
forget. I just go. They go hello, and I just go. I'm so sorry, I'm here.
But that parenting thing, what was funny because it's all about parenting, really. Let's get your take on this as two parents. The whole audience were very shocked. And so, like, when I was talking about how me and Hannah have raised our daughter, because I was saying, like, things like co-sleeping. So we sort of sleep in the same bed. No one in the room did that. Breastfeeding, still breastfeeding, 19 months. Everyone in the room was shocked by that. Started potty training at 6 months. Everyone was like, "You fuck it." Basically, everyone in the room thought I was a lunatic.
Well, they think that's young to potty train or old.
Too young.
Too young.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, I didn't realise how
I think
much
they're three.
how much of a weirdo I came across. I thought I was saying all nice things about,
Well, it's not, but it's totally, I think it's totally down to the child and it's totally different.
Yeah.
Like, I stopped breastfeeding when my kids were like 5 months, and that was genuinely because I couldn't
be bothered.
Produce
enough
milk to just sustain it. So I just so with both of with my son, I didn't even last a couple of months. I was like, this is mental, because I just couldn't produce.
Well,
so
that's your body saying we're done. So
and also then
nature.
I just weaned her. But there'll be people that, like my friend, she carried on till hers was 2. And then with things like co-sleeping, I mean, you do all this thing of like, get them into their own bed and all the rest of it, and then we've ended up like we co-sleep all the time still.
Yeah. That's what I gather. It just happens anyway.
It just happens.
It's cozy having a little baby in bed with you.
Oh, it's lush.
I
Why
love
would you
it.
ever want to give that up?
Yeah.
Well, I'm in their cold room. You're in your cold room.
And the thing is that sometimes it is nice to feel like you can put the baby in their room and then you go and have like an even. But I just think they grow up so quick. Why wouldn't you want to just absorb as much as you can?
Yeah, that's sort of my thinking. But I didn't
Did Hannah
really
read a book, 3 in the Bed?
Yeah, we both read that before Twyla was born. It's a very good book.
We did the co-sleeping, but we had the cot that didn't have the side, so it attaches to the bed.
The little sort of conservatory of the bed. You just roll them into.
And it was brilliant because it meant that just, the baby's there, and if they wake up, I'll just flop my tit out.
That's the
just go back to sleep.
It's that type of sexy image I like to put out there.
This is Hannah. Me and Hannah swapped bedsides in the last week. She's got
exciting times in the Donnelly house.
Guys,
mixing
trying to spice up the bedroom.
She now sleeps on the left-hand side, and I've got
to say,
my wet dreams have gone through the roof.
We swapped sides
because she had a bit of a sore back from like doing that thing of sleeping on that side, and when she'd feed Annie night,
the conception,
she'd lean over that way, and from doing that for fucking 18 months, she was starting to get quite a bad sort of back, and she went to see a massage therapist, and she said, "What's that called?" Yeah, and they said it's probably because you're overdoing one side, so we swapped to try and correct it.
Your back and your hips are so fucked from having children, not just carrying children, but where you just carry them always on one side. So you become this kind of, no wonder my posture's fucked. That man's right. I'm going to write back to him and go, thank you. Thank you.
But the long and short of it is we swapped sides of the bed, and for about 3 or 4 nights in a row, Twyla's woken up in the night and tried to suck my titties because she's used to Hannah being there. So I wake up as Twyla's crying because she cannot get milk out of my boobs. It's quite an aggressive way to be woken up.
I went to a breast class once.
Waking up to disappointment
on your own once a week.
A breastfeeding class, and there was a man taking the class.
Come on.
Do you think that's weird?
Come on, mate. Are you kidding?
So he was taking the class, but then he was giving. I was the only man apart from him in the room, and he was saying that sometimes for the baby to practice breastfeeding, it's good for them to go on the man's boot just to practice.
No, you're out, mate. You ain't running this class
weird.
anymore, you creep.
This was like NHS.
No, but also like my husband's really hairy, so I can imagine like,
poor little baby.
No,
so eating a kiwi with a skin on.
I think there's a lot of pressure either way, and I think there's this kind of like taboo
Why don't you
over.
just get them adopted?
Where did that come?
I mean, that's a big jump, but we'll go with it.
It's easier.
No, but like breastfeeding, not breastfeeding, people seem to have their opinions, but genuinely, I know so many mums, and no one's had the same story.
No
one. It's like giving back. No one has the same story. No one.
Yeah.
Every single situation is different, so you can't judge it,
It's like
and
a game
you just
of
got to.
chess.
Yeah, because I felt really I felt a bit like judged when I stopped breastfeeding at 5 months. I was like, oh God, people are going to think I'm this awful.
Well, I was because in our NCT,
but
no one else in the NCT breastfed after like a couple of months.
Oh really?
Hannah's the only one who carried it on.
Too busy partying in the park.
Too
busy sending memes on WhatsApp.
But everyone just sort of, they're all very Northwest London professionals.
Ren
and
was breastfed up until about Twyla's age, a bit older.
Yeah.
But we mix fed bottle and boob.
No.
So that my
I
went nice.
Nice.
Ugh, what's wrong with me?
Bit of bottle.
I think this is the creepiest me and Julian have been on one podcast.
And I feel like it's every time I'm there, you two just go, let's just rank up the creep. Because last time it was.
I don't do this to other guests.
No, you don't.
You bring it out. But it's your fault.
Sorry, when I
Why do you
turned
know
up
where the
at
toner
that
is
gig
from?
and you were like, do you mind recording a podcast? It's just set up on my bed in my hotel
We've
room.
got the honeymoon suite.
It's in my bath.
We're going to have a shower.
It's just a little thing we do. Every guest has to shower before the podcast.
Every 100th guest. We're like a clean podcast guest.
We just want to, if we
God.
can just shave our initials into your pubes.
Yeah. That's just a little thing. we
TVI.
like to do. I listened to a podcast about a cult. Who do you know did you ever watch Smallville?
Yes.
That girl,
That
the
cult.
woman.
What are they called? Like,
It's called like, it begins with O, doesn't it?
no,
Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
No, it's called.
What's it called? Do we know? Can we?
I talk about it on the podcast that me and Lily.
What's the what? I'm going to type. What is the cult with the Smallville lady in?
She's called. What's she called? Anna, Hannah, Alice, Alison,
We could pop that up on the screen.
Alison.
Jamie, bring it. Sorry, I can't ever do that. Alison.
Yeah,
Right.
Saint Mac. Alison Mac.
No pressure, Phoebe.
But they used
And it's
to...
called like.
Nexium.
Nexium.
And the guy,
and they
what was the guy's
brand,
name?
They brand the women.
Yes.
What, as in
There's a
brand?
brilliant documentary
What, with a
series
box?
about it. Branded them down on like above their foo-foo.
What, to label them? What for?
Just so they
Let
can
them know
keep
they're part of
count.
the car.
Yeah. Just it was like a sort of
I mean,
thing.
they're progressive.
But it was a weird one because like it didn't feel as bad a cult. I know it sounds weird, but you know when you sort of got the
They brand the women.
No, but what I mean is,
feel as bad
I'm
as-
talking about like in
That's
terms
some
of the
good
cults,
ideas.
the cults where they all commit mass suicide. You know, up until the branding bit, I was like, this ain't that bad a cult. It just feels like a bit of a pyramid scheme. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, this feels a bit like it's not that bad. And then it's
Didn't
like,
they
and then
all
they
have to-
branded everyone. I was like, it's got
Didn't
a bit
they
bad
have
now.
to all like have sex with him and stuff?
I don't think so. I think
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they did.
all right.
no, they didn't have to, but I think he was, he did advise it to
I
Manny.
might try and be his deputy.
You could start.
You could be a cult. You could start a cult.
do it
Let's
hands
do it.
down.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Just praying round the open mic circuit, just
No
going,
problem.
does anyone want to be in my little exclusive
Yeah.
club?
Comedy
Guaranteed
course. You'd run a
progression."
comedy course and just,
Yes.
Let's going to workshop some of your material
be a
back
moose,
up mine.
moose. You'd be the new moose hut guy.
And then yeah.
Start a comedy course.
You'd wear like a silk, what they call
Kimono.
silk kimono.
I've got
really short.
a silk kimono. But my friend sent it from Japan. It's an official.
To
But
put it
Julian
on.
would
Take
wear it
some
really short.
pictures of yourself.
They're very
Silk.
revealing. Like it's not like a dressing gown where it all closes up and it's all like it just sort of
like one of
right
them
down there,
hospital
and then it's just
gowns.
open there. So like you just got your
It's like a
bollocks
hospital
out.
gowns that open at the back. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's have
You
you
could
ever?
wear one of those. He'll greet people to his
Slip
comedy
it
course.
round.
We'll
You know?
wear them when we smash our batties together. But have you ever been in hospital for a sustained period of time?
Yeah.
So you, I'm not going to ask what for, but I found
Giving
wearing
birth, I bet.
other than giving, I suppose we had to wear a hospital gown then anyway. But
Yeah.
I found wearing a hospital gown. Yeah, it is so.
Why were you in hospital?
When I had stomach problems.
Oh, what, in Edinburgh?
No, in
Oh, what, the paracetamol?
yeah. And basically, I was in for 5 days, and just walking around with your bum out is quite weird. Although I did have pants on.
I got admitted once for a week in hospital because I had a really bad asthma attack when I was about 15 because I painted my bedroom door with gloss and then fell asleep and woke up, I couldn't breathe. So I was there all day just thinking it's going to get better. Even my dog was like licking me and that. And I had to ring an ambulance, but they admitted me to hospital for a week. But I was in there for one night and I just discharged myself.
Right.
And I had to go in the toilet at the hospital, like slide the needle out.
Oh, no.
It was really horrible. I was like sitting on the set, I was just going, slid the needle out.
Oh,
But I went back and the doctor was going mad at me.
that's
But,
probably for a good reason.
yeah.
But you don't really worry about things like that, though, do you?
I'm quite tough, is what
No.
you're saying.
But like,
Is that
you're
what you
not-
meant?
Yeah.
That's that then.
I just meant like you don't seem to like overthink things.
Do you not think?
That is
Oh.
incorrect.
I do.
No, I would say you overthink the wrong things.
Do
Like,
I?
so
Well, I mean, you
things
wouldn't
like that.
overthink the fact that you discharged yourself
Yeah.
from hospital when you were ill,
No.
but you will overthink
With things like
a
that.
gig you've got
Yeah,
coming up
yeah,
in a
yeah.
week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
okay.
do that.
You know what I mean, it's priorities.
Yeah, I'm
Terrible
quite similar to that.
priorities.
Like if someone said to me, "You're going to go for a major operation," I wouldn't worry about that as much as my gig tonight.
Right.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, ego is most important. Then that's the ego protection.
Oh my God.
A gig is protecting your ego, isn't it?
So how do you stop having an ego?
You can't stop having an ego because you have an ego, but it's about watching it.
You can lessen it. But I mean,
But then
I wouldn't
you
recommend.
cannot
My
react to
technique
it.
was to take loads of hallucinogens after my divorce.
That is one way.
And now I don't worry about gigs. So.
Listen to some Eckhart Tolle.
No, but that can't be because ego must be. Oh, I guess it's like you want to look good.
Or ego just wants to, look good or bad.
That's
or
interesting.
Scary.
I
Protect
just
your ego.
Zone it all out in ballet.
Yeah, that would be a
Do
nice.
some pliés, mate.
Ballet and running.
What
That's what
running's a
run
good one.
for
I
minute.
love running.
Can you recommend me a good running shoe? Because
Yes,
I do actually
I
need to
can.
buy a running
I
shoe.
used to be a running fitness instructor.
Really? Did you? So you know about gait and all that sort of
do,
stuff.
yeah.
You know,
Right.
really?
Yeah.
What am I looking for let's do this for the listeners if you're interested. What should we be looking for in the perfect running shoe?
Well, it depends on your gait because sometimes
What's a
we're
gait?
It's how you
Your
the stride
garden
that you
gait
take.
as you leave
So for
running.
me, I'm quite laterally rotated, which means my
I was
foot-
going to say that.
I think I might be that as
I swear
well.
to God, Julian.
So you need
They're
arch.
nice with me.
Do you need? Do you need arch support if you've got an inward?
So I need something that's going to balance my feet so one leg rotates a little bit more, which is why my hips aren't massively aligned. So you need to have that
Right.
proper support.
What don't you see?
Do I need to
some
go to a
chiropractor?
shop where they watch it and go, "This is what you need"?
You can do that, but to be honest with you, I think it doesn't really make much difference. It's more about making sure that you foam roll after a run, making sure you stretch out properly, and
Not before
and
a run,
knowing-
afterwards.
No, afterwards. You got to do a warm up walk, and then I always walk for about a mile before I do my run.
Fucking mile, bruv.
And how far do you run on a good day?
I'll
Half a
run
mile.
100 meters.
You run back and have some breakfast while you foam roll.
between 3 and 5 miles.
Okay, that's yeah.
So I run 3 or 5 miles and then walk back, and
And
then
how
I'll
do you
stretch out.
know the distance? Do you have a Fitbit?
No, I just do it on my phone. Also, I know my routes as well.
Yeah.
But also knowing how to hold yourself when you're running is really important. Like a lot of people, when they run downhill, they think, "Oh, it's so easy," so they'll just. But actually, it's so important to reduce your speed and to. Really
that's
hold
my
your-
problem
Get
with
an
running.
Uber.
I go through a period of running about once a year for about 2 months, right? And it takes me a couple of weeks to get up to speed again. But the first 2 weeks is a case of me just overdoing it, thinking I can go too fast.
Yeah.
And then about 2Ks in, just dying essentially.
Yeah, and then there are so many different little things that will just make running a lot easier. Like the way you hold yourself going up and down.
Do you ever do on your toes?
Yeah, to go uphill. That's what you
But
should do.
there are some people that can run fully on their toes. I was a couple of years ago. I was doing it fairly regularly, and I just read something about running on your toes, and I thought, I'll try and run on my toes.
Shin splints, but I don't think.
My legs were so sore after the first.
Yeah.
I tried to do a full run on my toes, and
that's
literally
insane,
almost
Carl.
died. Like
On
my
your
legs were
toes,
so
like a ballet
not like
dancer.
toes, but just like on the like not doing heel toe, and the next day it felt like the bottom half. I was going to have below the knee amputated on both.
You're
legs.
supposed to run with it sounds silly, but your feet under your body. And
What?
I mean, I have
That's what I've been
tried
doing wrong.
I have been trying to run, with.
no, but
I've
some
been just
people,
whipping them out to the
but some
side.
people will have their feet a little bit behind, like leaning forward or leaning back.
So I run like I'm in a
I like-
cartoon, running like the fucking road runner.
I like to spin around my feet and then start.
What I like
Wile E.
though
Coyote.
is during lockdown, the amount of people who decided, right, I'm going to get fit, and you'd see people out running, and it was so funny when you saw people who clearly had no concept of what exercise
Yeah,
meant,
yeah, yeah.
and they would be putting on outfits, and
Oh.
they'd look in their wardrobe
A
and
ball
go,
gown.
This is the closest I've got to anything sporty,
Oh.
outdoorsy, and there'd be like blokes running around with like cagoule and Crocs.
I've seen people in smart trousers running in my local park.
From the police.
No, just like, they'd have like a sort of hoodie and a trainers, but then just like a pair of suit trousers. You're like, fucking come
People
on, man.
rock up at the gym like that sometimes.
What they do, I remember like in Newcastle,
Tuxedo.
they all do it like all the fucking Geordie lads, man, on a night out. Like they'll go to like a gym on their way to the bars, so they've got their tight shirts on, and they'll basically just pump up a bit. And it's like it's just a bunch of guys in like loafers and tight jeans, no socks.
I just do
doing, like,
push-ups in the toilets in the bar.
you do actually do.
Pull-ups on the toilet. Fucking.
Why do you do that?
I don't really.
Oh,
You do that, you fucking liar.
What, to pump yourself up so you look more pumped before a gig?
Yeah.
I know, right?
I don't actually do that.
You do.
If I did, if I did do push-ups in a like a dressing room or something, it would be to try and get out on
To
my
impress
head.
the other acts.
To impress if there's any ladies on the bill. No, to kind of get out of my head. But I don't do that.
We've got to wrap it up shortly. I feel like
I feel like we've discussed so many things.
I know. I feel like this one is. It's been weird. It's been weird.
It has
But
been weird.
it's been fun.
I've been really tired.
I don't know
today.
what's happened.
I don't either.
I feel like
actually.
I'm just going to step outside, like come out of the cinema. And just go,
I feel like a
I've
few
just
people.
watched Tenet. I'm going to step out of this box. And
I feel like we're
don't
going to
know
get a few
what's
messages going. I don't think you were very nice to Esther.
happened. No, you won't. People.
Have
people
you had a
love to
nice
hate
time?
Me. Yes.
That's
Most insincere
I've
yes
had
I've ever
a
heard.
lovely time.
No, it's been
and
fun, hasn't it?
It has been fun. It's always fun to hang out with you two.
Thanks.
good.
I wish Julian would blink more.
I'm a psychopath.
He's always just
He
staring.
actually had his eyelids removed recently.
I've got a psychopathic stare.
You always know when you're kicking with Julian, you just walk into a green room and you just feel this stare and you're
Yeah.
oh, he's
It's
there.
like the fucking
'cause I'm
Mona Lisa, isn't it? It's
It's because I'm
watching it.
eyeing you up.
Watching everywhere you go. He's just on, his eyes are on you.
He looks so orange.
I do.
do.
Yeah,
look
you
weirdly
look
orange.
like
I
you've
don't, I
got
just-
a lot of fake tan on.
I've not got any fake tan on.
But you look like
Do you use a
No.
tanning moisturiser?
Yeah.
Do you really?
No, I don't. I have
go on
got
sunbeds.
I have got a tinted.
Have you ever
one.
used that? I once used it by accident. I got given it in a gift set of tinted moisturiser, and I didn't know it was tinted. So I just started using it. 3
blacked
days
up.
in, I just had this sort of like tan oval on my face. It's fucking. I thought
Like
I was
Donald
ill.
Trump.
I remember when I first ever used fake tan and I completely got it all wrong and I went
Oh,
orange.
no.
Do you use fake tan now?
No, but I look like David Deane. And it was really bad, and people, when they saw me, they'd just be like, "Hey, sorry, are you
You're
okay?"
right. You've got jaundice.
It looked like I'd literally just come out with like turmeric on my face.
Right, let's wrap this up.
Sorry.
What shall we plug of yours? You do a podcast.
But yeah,
You're like, no, nothing. No.
nothing of note. You can watch me on Catch Up.
The Apollo's on
for
the
Apollo
iPlayer.
is on the old iPlayer. The full, I think the longer set is
And you're
coming out.
banned from Instagram.
I'm banned from Instagram.
What happened?
Graphic.
No
content.
idea. No, it wasn't graphic content.
What? No idea at all.
I assume I got hacked because they're saying it's nothing to do with my content, and I went through all the terms
This
of
is all the
use.
DMs you were
And
sending. The aggressive DMs.
yeah, I was sending all these DMs of just my branded minge, and just join the
TVI.
cult with me. And went and looked at the terms of use, and the only thing, because they were saying it's nothing to do with content, so the
Yeah.
only thing must be like trying to get
Money
Like-
out of people.
money or trying to get
Right.
users with bots and stuff. So I was like, I must have been hacked.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've been appealing it for 3 weeks now, and they've not done anything.
And
you can't contact
is
them.
it quite nice not having it?
It's lovely
Yeah.
That's good.
because I don't. I mean, to be honest with you, I just wanted someone else to manage it all anyway.
I'd love that. I am because I mean, and I think I am better than most. I don't go on Facebook. Never go on that. Like I just linked it to other
But
things,
I don't mind
and I
posting
don't.
on Facebook.
And Twitter, I still use as sort of just jokes. I never engage in any arguing or any of that.
No.
Instagram is the one I still have the odd look at it, but I would like to not ever look at it again.
I think there is something. So basically, when I got banned off Instagram, I gave my Twitter to somebody and said, "Look, can you just retweet gigs, or if I want anything tweeted, I'll just send it to you and you post it." And then I've got Facebook, but I don't really use Facebook. And as a result, we were walking home from school the other day, and me and my son were chatting the whole way home, and he turned around to me and he went, "That's the first time you've not checked your phone whilst we've walked." And I was like, "Oh my god."
That's one thing I'm very good at, not checking my phone when I'm with Twyla. Like if Hannah's
You're
working,
very attentive parents.
Well, but I mean, if Hannah's working, it's just me and her. I'm just hyper aware that I don't want to be playing with her and
Don't you
checking
get
my
bored?
phone. But you know what? Sometimes
I get really
sometimes
bored.
it can get a bit samey. But there's
Get a bit
days.
samey,
There's
it's not
days.
very-
Yeah, but there's days when me and her can literally be just playing for. Yesterday, like
Oh,
Hannah was
so
out all day,
good.
And me and her just were like, for about 5 hours, we're just playing in different rooms and doing stuff. And at no point did I get bored.
I didn't know how to play, so I sat down with my...
I didn't know how to play.
I didn't know how to play, so I sat down with my boy in his room because he went, will you come play with me? And I sat in his room and I just went, and he got all these like Lego bits out and stuff. And then he looked at me and I went, I don't really know what to do. And he was like, well, just play.
Did you play as a kid?
And I was like,
I
was like, well, what do I do? And he goes,
build stuff.
and then he just looked at me and he went, oh, that's really sad.
Yeah.
Like, you can't play. And I was like, okay, well, what do I do? And he was like, well, you get the bits. And then he was like, pretend that this is something. And then I got into it.
Yeah.
And then we had a good old play.
I said, oh, this is shit.
I mean, this is well boring.
Yeah.
You need to man up.
I'm quite good at inventing little games.
Grow up, mate.
But I'm quite good at that sort of just
I'm
like...
better at doing things. I'm better at like I could just lie and chat with my kids.
You could take them jogging.
But they do.
Oh, that's nice.
Me and my daughter we did a 5K race together.
How old is she?
8.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kids are so fit, aren't they?
Yeah, she'll run 5K. My son will come out running with me, but he'll have to be on a scooter.
That's nice, though.
Yeah, so we do that.
Like your boxing trainer.
It's like Mickey from Rocky.
Then you can go and fight a hen.
A hen?
No, what is it? Catch a chicken.
Catch a chicken, fight a
Imagine if that was part of your training, you got to fight a hen.
You're lost.
I wouldn't even know how to go about it.
So what's your podcast?
Sorry, my podcast is on...
What's it called?
It's called Ghastly Women.
Yes.
It's me and Lily Phillips, and we just talk about women that have been ghastly each week. And we have a lot of fun doing
What's
that.
an example of a woman being ghastly?
We've had people like Gwyneth Paltrow to like people like Carla Homolka, who's like a serial killer, or the woman from House of Gucci. So it's just all different
Ghastly women.
And then, you can watch that. And then if you can follow me on Twitter, because you can't find me on Instagram.
Yeah, there we go.
Or Facebook.
Or
Does anyone do Facebook?
I think people
You can like my page on Facebook.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
That'd be nice,
Thought of
people.
you. Thanks for coming on again.
When will this go out?
Probably
It's
Sunday.
live.
Okay. I'm doing my solo show on the 7th of April in the Bill Murray.
Oh, nice.
Please, can you come and watch that?
Do
7th
come.
of April, what time?
It'll be on the website.
Evening.
And we're doing 3rd of February, Leicester Comedy Festival.
3rd of February, the Black Horse in
Leicester. Aylstone in Leicester.
Aylstone in Leicester.
And then 28th of February, 21 Soho, us and
Podcast
What's Upset You
mashup.
Now.
Come to them both.
Yeah, do. I mean, it's quite far to travel. Let's end the podcast now. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thank you,
We'll
Esther,
pay
for
for your
joining us.
Ubers.
Bye.
Bye.